All right. Hey. Welcome, everybody. I love it. I love seeing people here. I love seeing people here early. I see Pinball Eddie, Hardcore Pin. I know he's from overseas. Walkie Walk. That's awesome. Damon, Damon Donaldson. Nice. Conti, Down South Pinball. Love it. G Money, Balls of Steel. Sterling's here. I love it. I love it. I love people being here. Love people excited to have a good time tonight. But yeah, tonight should be a really fun chat. We actually have stuff to talk about. To be honest, I was putting together the team of the four of us on chatting it up, and we were kind of talking amongst ourselves of what we're going to actually talk about, because there isn't a ton of news. And then thank you Stern for dropping what seems like something kind of out of nowhere. And we're definitely going to break that down, our overall thoughts on Jurassic Park 30th edition, all that stuff. But no, tonight's going to be fun. If you happen to be watching this after the fact, we stream every Wednesday from 10 to midnight Eastern time. Feel free to join live. We obviously try to interact with chat as much as possible. Otherwise, if you are watching this on YouTube, feel free to comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And appreciate that. Yeah, we got super chats going. You can join the Facebook or the Flipping Out team if you want, and support us there. You can do really whatever you want. But yeah, tonight's going to be a great time. So here are our guests for the evening. Boom, there you go. I know I put it in the title. I don't know if anybody actually reads the title or if you want to surprise yourself on who's here or not. But we'll go around the circle like we normally do. Introduce yourself, what you do, and what was the last game of pinball you played. So Craig, go for it, man.
Well, hello, chat. I am Craig Bobby, and I am privileged to be a part of the award-winning pinball show, which with host Dennis Kriesel, who is here with us today, and Zach Meny. And I, of course, am doing the Top Stories news segment on the pinball show every other week that we record that. So happy to be a part of all that, and for sure check that out if you haven't already. Um, I'm splitting my time these days, Joel, between petitioning for Stern to bring back Rush in their production lineup, and also for the return of Rumor Corner on Dennis's other podcast, which is the Eclectic Gamers podcast. So that's how I'm spending my time generally these days. And then when I'm not kind of doing that, I'm playing Godzilla, which is of course
There it
directly
is.
behind me,
Yep.
and so I have something to say about Godzilla because I don't know what's happened this summer, but I've gone from, and I'm not trying to brag, but going into the summer, I was, you know, semi-regularly getting to 1 billion points. I got to Planet X multi-ball thanks to Stern's sort of abbreviated a code update, which allows you to kind of get there a little easier than you could have originally. So I made it there a couple times, and I'm thinking, you know what? I might actually be able to finish this game for once. And since then, my scores repeatedly over the last 2 months, I can barely break a couple 100,000. And I'm going to tell you what I think it is. I'm going to tell you what I think the problem is. So recently, I switched, just as an experiment, from the regular OEM rubber bands to what the distributor calls a super band, which I think is just
Mm,
like a clear polyurethane flipper.
Mm.
yep,
Think,
I know them well.
after hearing, of generally a lot of good things about how amazing they were and I have found them incredibly challenging versus the regular rubber in terms of being able to catch, trap up, and sort of control the ball a little easier. On the plus side, I feel like I'm getting a little more strength off the flipper in general, which can be helpful at times if you don't necessarily get a clean hit. But I think in general, I'm finding that they are, although they look, I think, way better than the black rubber. I got like a clear green, and and they look fantastic on the Godzilla. But I do find they are more challenging, and just wondered if you guys have found similar
Yeah,
things with either the Titan or the
yeah.
or Super Bands or something similar.
Well, I think that's Zach. That's the one that's probably closest to the rubber that's on the games that come in the box. So I would go Titan competition silicone, but the super bands, I do have experience with those as well. I actually used to get them and put them in my games and swear by them, but they're very hard. They're hard.
Uh,
They're not very rubbery at all. They're very very hard. So the ball will not bounce off of them. So like if you're used to ball bouncing a certain way, it's not going to happen with these. They will help you with other things like live catching if you're ever practicing that, because the ball naturally doesn't bounce as much, so you can practice your live catch with them. But they're generally a little harder to play just because people aren't used to the hardness of that rubber.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The other thing, interesting thing I'm noting is as well is that I'm not seeing as much black rubber on the playfield.
Well, yeah.
You know, so I
Yeah.
find you
Yeah.
don't have to clean the playfield quite as often because there's just less debris flying around.
So
It's
what I'll do,
polyurethane.
yeah. Did
Yeah.
you do the entire game or just the flippers?
Just the flippers. Just
Yeah.
just the
So
flippers.
you know, if the flippers, if you didn't do the flippers and then like I don't find it as big of a deal to do the rest of the game in, you know, any kind of rubber, but I would always pick like the silicone, even a colored rubber, because you're not going to get that black on the playfield much at all from those rubbers, because really you're getting it a lot from the slingshots. The slingshots
Mhm.
are a huge reason why you're getting a lot.
Okay.
Well, you'll
Okay.
see it on the inside of your in lanes a lot too. So going to a silicone one will definitely help keep your game cleaner longer.
Okay.
Yeah, I know like my TNA, I swapped everything out for Titan early on because I actually had the glow in the dark bands. And really I mean, whatever you do, you can get used to it. But at least on my sterns, I've always just stuck with the black rubber. One, because a lot of times I'm borrowing a game from Zach and I don't want to like swap all the time. So I've gotten very used to the black rubber. And when you get used to it, it's a big change when you go to a different one,
Yeah.
especially the one you're talking about. That is a big
Mhm.
change. The Titan competition ones are much more subtle between the normal rubber and whatnot. But I have heard of some people on post the post sleeves, like those post rubbers, they'll put in a really hard rubber because that's what typically gets beat up the most when you know
Yeah.
hit those with, and that can cause some dust. So they may use a harder rubber in that type of area so it takes the hits better. But on the flippers, I would kind of go with what Mike is saying and go either stern rubber or Titan competition rubbers are the way to go.
Yeah,
All right,
and I'm
so-
noticing now for even anybody who cares about, you know, competition pinball a lot, like a lot of competitions are now leaning towards more bouncier flippers, like a really bouncier flipper, trying to make the games harder to control.
Yeah.
As well. So and a lot of they're putting on that old red rubber, the old red stuff that looks like rubber bands on new games, like, you know, modern games and stuff like that too. They become really bouncy if you want to use those ones.
Nice. Well, yeah. Well, good to know. I know that was a big day, Craig, when you announced in the TPN Discord that you broken the billion. The billion. I have yet to break a billion on Godzilla. I'm like right there. And I was like, dang it, Craig already did it. Dennis, have you broken a billion on Godzilla?
Yeah, I think my high is around 1.9 billion.
Oh, he's almost at the 2 Billy Club. Shoot. All right.
Yeah.
Well, nice.
It's what's interesting about pinball too is that just because you do it once, you think, oh, no problem, I know exactly what to do now, and
Yeah.
you get that feeling like, oh, just next game I'll just rack up another billion, and now I've crossed the threshold. But it's like
That's not how
it's
that's
so
not how
frustrating.
pinball
Oh
works.
my god,
No,
I'm going the
pinball
opposite way now. I feel like.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Well, Craig, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks, Joel, for having me.
We'll keep going around. Dennis, go for it.
Yes, well, thank you for having me, Joel. Dennis here, Pinball Show, Collected Gamers podcast. Latest game I've been playing. I can't play is not really the right word, but I guess play test. So Victory, Gottlieb's System ADB Victory, Trudeau design game. So I got that as a project, and it's working now, but I still need to clean it, and I still need to re-rubber it. Probably change the bulbs out as well. So today, in fact, I actually placed my Titan competition silicone band order because that is what I like to put into games. As an interesting aside for Craig's commentary about the super bands actually were my very first baby's first meme that I ever made was to make fun of them. Baby's first live catch, because there's just no bounce to those
There's
rubbers. So
none.
if you want to live catch, that ball ain't going anywhere with them super bands.
Yeah.
But
This is
so-
Gottlieb's Victory. I've never seen
yeah,
this game.
I knew it from the video game, the Pinball Arcade. That's where I had first played it. It's very linear. There are 10 checkpoints that you're supposed to shoot to advance the race. So in terms of playing the mode out, that's how you go. I think in competitive play, they just try and stay up top on that mini play field.
What is this black? Are these lights? This
Yep.
black. Oh, nice. Does it like go in like order? Like when the ball goes down the habit trail, does the light like?
It was the 80s, Joel.
It's just on. They're just on.
It just goes.
They're just on.
It just goes.
Okay.
Question for you then. Okay, so look at this game. Look at this layout.
Yeah.
Now, if you put one of today's coders in on this game and just said, we're going to give you this layout, now you recode, do you not think that they could really make something like really good with this layout? Like this looks like a really nice layout, doesn't it?
I mean, anybody but Ray Day.
For like an 80s game.
Sure. No, I think that, and one of the things I like about Premiere is I thought they had a lot of really interesting layouts, many of which are quite fun to play, that were unfortunately just really hampered, not only by the fact we're talking 80s and 90s rule sets, but their parallel development model that they had to do in order to turn out a game every 3 months meant the code was being developed while the layout was being worked on. And it just resulted in a lot of pretty poor rule sets.
Yeah.
Another Trudeau game. My favorite single level layout ever is Silver Slugger. Excellent layout, not an inch of wasted space on that playfield, but the rules were, one time I owned 10 games. It was easily my worst set of rules. So that game, it had to go, but unfortunate, because if someone wanted to reprogram it, they could do such incredible things. But yeah, this got like it's a part with a vertical up kicker to go, feeds the mini play field. There are a lot of drops, and the way they went with the rules in terms of needing to achieve those checkpoints, it does make you shoot the whole thing.
Everything. Which was, it does.
Yeah. Which was a smart decision.
That is a very cool pin.
Hey, don't look.
Yeah,
hey,
and if you want to know,
don't look at the ranking.
It's number.
Get out of there. Get out of there.
I already feel like I'm open. I don't even know where it is. I can't even. Is it not ranked?
Oh, it's probably ranked.
It's ranked.
I don't know where it's ranked at.
There's ramps.
Oh, that's right. I have to scroll down to it, and then it's right down here. So,
oh no, it needs
it's
more.
Not ranked.
Ratings.
It's not ranked. It's
okay,
not ranked.
well, it's whatever your heart desires.
You
but
need
anyway,
you need to rank it or put in a review, Dennis.
I don't know. Yeah, once it's fixed up, I'll play it some, and then I'll decide. It's in the garage. I'll decide if it's a keeper or not. I've been busy with other stuff, so I haven't been doing much pinball. But
nice. Awesome. Well, Dennis, thank you so much for being here. And hey, huge shout out, by the way, Eclectic Gamers Podcast. I'm assuming Sunday you will be recording your 200th episode. 200th episode.
Yeah, that is Sunday.
That's really awesome. That's exciting.
And with the return of Rumor Corner for the 200th.
Most likely not.
Most likely.
Damn it.
I did have I saw a request today of TPS could take over Rumor Corner, and I told them no. We're evaluating. I feel that the rumors have gotten a little out of hand in this in the community, and so I'm doing my part to kind of rein it back in.
Well, I am personally a fan of Eclectic Gamers Podcast. I'm actually a Patreon member of Eclectic Gamers Podcast. Unlike a Patreon member of the Pinball Show. So sorry,
that's
Craig.
Because Pinball Show's too expensive. That's the thing. So yes, we're always happy to take more. Maybe if I get to 60 Patreon members on EGP, we'll go ahead and bring back Rumor Corner.
Oh, there we go.
But you know what?
There you go.
The viewers tonight can do that wouldn't even cost $1, which is possibly the cheapest pinball podcast that there is Eclectic Gamers at $1.
There we go.
Is they could smash that like button on this YouTube feed to help others find the live stream.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
I think Joel just doesn't want to pay you twice. That's
Oh no, I don't blame anyone not
like
doing
Tony.
any of the Patreons.
I like Tony. That's what it is. No,
yeah, Tony is pretty liked. He's pretty popular.
Well, awesome. Well, what's funny is I'm a Patreon supporter of Dennis, and then he's a supporter of Triple Drain. So I think we're just basically handing the same amount of money back and forth.
I actually lose money, Joel. I lose money every month, I think.
Isn't that called laundering or something?
Well, it's like we're just handing a $5 bill back and forth to each other every month, and then giving the government taxes is what it feels like.
It's halvesies. We do it halvesies.
That's perfect. All right. Well, appreciate you for being here. And last but not least, Mike, go ahead, man.
Who is least if Mike's not least?
Whoever's not here. Who's not here? Well, let's say Hottie. Hottie's least.
Well, if I'm here, you must have had 5 or 6 people say no. So
no, I'm telling you, I picked you last because it all came down to what Mike's game was going to be. That's what I was really holding out on. But okay,
he knew it was game night.
Yeah. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, you can catch me on the Pinballers. We haven't streamed in a bit. The last stream we did was actually the Beast. But we'll be getting back at it soon. It's taking a bit of a break. We were really busy over July and August traveling for pinball in Edmonton and Buffalo and whatnot. But we're back home now. Going to take some time to rest, and we'll be back at it. But the last game I've played actually was the new game that we talked about
That's right, Turtles.
offline is the Turtles. So we did end up trading our Led Zeppelin for a Turtles, and we brought it back just this past Monday.
Okay.
And so we've had it only set up for 4 or 5 days now. So maybe Saturday or Sunday. I haven't had a lot of time on it myself. Carter has played a lot of it. He's really enjoying the game. He does like it. The hardest thing to get used to is just the scoring. It's like, after you do, a Turtle Power multi-ball or something where you feel like you've done okay and you look up and you're like, I only have 2 million points. It's just like, you feel like you want more points, but I get it now, right? Like I've started leveling my Turtles up. If you level up Raphael to level 4, like the scoring can get exponentially better with his 3x and his extra stuff and whatnot. So I'm seeing that like Carter's already blown up the game for over 400 million, and like he's so I have a lot of work to do.
He sold Rip Led Zeppelin. Nice. Zeppelin's gone.
I have a lot of work to do. He's been very close to Cowabunga. I think he just needed like 2 April hurry ups or something like that to get there. But I haven't gotten close to much anything. But I haven't really had a lot of time to sit and play it. But I'm gonna probably spend some time on it this weekend and really because it's one of the modern Sterns that I know the least about. So
sure.
It's great. It's almost like a new in-box game, because I've never really played it. So it's great to learn a new game.
Does it have what did you write, Dennis? Oh, I just see white trending down. Led Zeppelin. No. That's great. Do you have an Insider Connected kit in that?
Yes, it did come with an Insider Connected kit. Yeah,
and that's what's really cool about Turtles is when you level up your turtle, if you're logged in, those levels stay with you. So I'll be curious after you have it for a little while, like. Because you're obviously a tournament player, if when you play in competition mode, it'll start you at level 1. So then you have to take into account whether it's worth trying to level up your turtle within one game versus just playing it for fun. Yeah, when you're leveled up, you depending on what character you pick, you have different perks. So I really like that mechanism. And then the last thing I have to ask you is, have you played Half Shell Challenge?
I have not yet. I have not.
Yes, you have to play Half Shell Challenge. It's like a speed running mode, and that was something that I was really addicted to. At first it's get it under 200 seconds, and then the main goal is get it under 100 seconds, which for me that was quite a task. But that was
this is not a wizard mode. This is just is this just a separate mode?
It's a completely separate mode that Dwight's sons coded.
I wasn't even aware.
Yep,
wow.
not in the game at all. It's just a side kind of speed run kind of thing. But
I'll definitely check that out. Yeah.
Well, awesome. Well, I love it. Love everybody that's here. And then obviously I'm Joel. I do the Triple Drain podcast. And then we just released an episode yesterday, and then we do the stream. So last game I played was Spider-Man. I'm borrowing Zach's Spider-Man Vault. I had the best game I've ever had on it the other night. I got the 3rd high score. Having a good time with that. That is a fun game. I'm glad to have an opportunity to play that for sure. We're going to dive right in here. Juicy Time's here. I love it. I love seeing his green name. He is a member, or he joined the Flippin' Out channel, so he supports us there. So appreciate that. Love the discussion. Love the discussion going on here. We have plenty of people here in chat, but we're going to dive into our main topic here, which happens to be Jurassic Park 30th edition. So this came out. There was a little teaser trailer that was announced. I don't know, it was like 9 o'clock my time or 10 o'clock. Came out of nowhere. Loser Kids actually sent it to me. They're like, what's this about? And I know there was a podcast. It was Pinball Party Podcast. Jason and Kale had this discussion that at the time they said the next game that's going to come out is not going to be Venom. Then they said it's going to be a remake or a vault that has teeth. That's what I remember them saying. And that's when we started to kind of brainstorm this idea of maybe it is Jurassic Park. But what would that mean? It is the 30th. Like there was kind of some rumors of this potentially happening. I was not expecting today I don't know about you guys. That came out of nowhere, and talking to a few of the distributors, it came out of nowhere. On my own channel, what? Oh, Zach's talking. Joel has my comments. I don't have your comments blocked. Anyway, sorry. So I was not expecting today. It happened to be today. Well, they said it will come out tomorrow. But then there were leaked pictures. So we could talk about this. There was a 1 or 2 hour stint of people basically like, well, what's this going to be? Are they going to change stuff on the play field? Is it going to be like Elvira, where Elvira was a change in powder coat, it was a change in artwork, and then it was a shooter knob? And then there was also people talking a lot about pricing. Is this going to be a $20,000 game? So what do we know? What we do know is it's going to be 500 units. The original LE was 500 units, and the way that Stern is talking about this game is they're treating it as an LE. So now there's 2 LEs, 500 plus 500 is 1,000. So now we're back to the same number of LEs as modern games, and then it's looking right at $13,000. So this is the same price as Venom LE, which just came out. And I know some distributors have them in stock. So definitely a surprise that this is coming. And then another thing that I heard that is kind of crazy is these are on the line right now. Like right now, they're making these games. So there are distributors that will get these within the next few days. So this game's going to be shown tomorrow officially. I'm assuming there's already distributors that have people on their list or allocated orders or whatnot. But these are going to be showing up in the next few days as at people's homes. So I don't know. I'm curious with the three of you guys, when you heard this today, Jurassic Park 30th edition, what was your initial response to that announcement? Craig, we'll go first with you.
I was a little surprised, although not totally shocked. It's one of Stern's most popular games. I would say, and I don't have the numbers in front of me, but just judging by how long it's been on the production line and how difficult it's been to get your hands on a premium machine, I'd say it's probably right behind Godzilla, and I was probably beating Godzilla until Godzilla was released as far as Stern's most popular game. You know, it's designed by Keith Elwin. So it's in the top 10 if I'm not mistaken. So it's a good choice for them, I think, to continue to milk this for all they can while they still have the license. I don't know whether they had to re-up it, but so I think it's a safe bet for them, in terms of releasing another edition of this. I don't have anything really negative to say. I'm a little indifferent to it, frankly. I think the art is fine that they've chosen for the back glass.
Mm-hmm.
Some people, I guess we were talking about before the stream, we were talking about was this a good idea in the wake of Venom, and will this outsell Venom? People know exactly what they're getting when they get this game, and I still think with Venom, people aren't quite sure what they're getting with that game, with the new code, the play field. Not as many people have had a chance to shoot it and really get their head wrapped around what Dwight, was trying to do with all of that, and Brian Eddy with his design. So I think if you put these two games head to head, I'm not shocked that this could outsell Venom at the moment. I think Venom is people are still undecided about that title. If you weren't a diehard Venom fan, I don't think, based on what you've seen, that was a slam dunk by any means, especially in a market that's softening somewhat. So I'm not surprised that if people are on the or were thinking they were going to get a Jurassic Park, when they see this might be a game, and they can get another LE. This could be like a no-brainer for them.
Yeah. Well, and I do know I feel bad. George, don't panic flip, who happens to be in chat right now. I know George, this is his favorite game bar none. I know he's owned multiple versions of this game. One of the last ones he owned, the playfield happened to be slightly warped, so it was just brutal because everything would roll towards the outlanes. So I know he now that some of the distributors actually have these in stock, they actually have premium Jurassic Parks in stock. He went ahead and bought himself a new one, and I think that was like within a month ago. And so for somebody like George, who this is his favorite game, who literally just bought the game new in box, if he would have known that if he would have waited another, I don't know, month and a half, that he would have had a chance to get this instead, maybe he would. And I think of a Greg Bone. Zach just mentioned it in chat. Greg Bone is considering this as his first limited edition, and Greg Bone is about as big as he can be. Josh Hardy just said, I got a premium about 4 weeks ago. So for premium buyers, people that just bought this, I could understand the frustration. The other bit of frustration that I could understand is LE buyers. If LE buyers thought they had a limited edition item, 1 of 500, well, now there's another like LE, like which one in 5 years is going to be considered more valuable, the original LE or this LE? So I don't know. Dennis, you're the numbers guy or the business guy. What were your thoughts when you heard about this, or Stern dipping into this again?
I mean, I'm afraid I'm not really going to provide a lot of different opinion than what Craig already expressed. Personally, I don't really care. I think Jurassic Park is an excellent game. I think that the new art package it looks very different. So I think some people that were put off by the old art package might greatly prefer this one. It really just comes down to taste. But there's not really any big reason for someone, say, who already owns a Jurassic Park, unless they're obsessed about the art or something, to want to jump into this. So I'm not sure that these 500 fly off the shelf. I'm also not sure that it really impacts Venom, because the problems that Venom faces is the fact that it's a game that people don't know, and everyone pretty much knows Jurassic Park at this point because it's been out for so long. I think already original LE owners are going to be split on this. I would guess most, like if you were to poll them, most of them will probably oppose that there was another 500 of an LE out there now, and that it feels a little bit of a bait and switch. But this is something we've seen before, maybe not so much out of Stern, but I was chatting with some people today in Wizard of Oz, and there almost felt like 3 or 4 different LE iterations that they did, Yellow Brick Road, Ruby Red, the special Australian version. I mean, they just kept doing the same sort, where it's like, well, it's a different LE. So I think Stern has a tree to hide behind on it, but it's a cash grab move. It's not going to have new animations, new sounds, new rules, new toys. So the thing that's weird about it to me is, timing wise, does it sap any? I think at the limit of 500, they probably aren't thinking it does. Does it sap any other current sales going on? But what I think's weird is Jurassic Park has remained in essentially continuous production.
Yeah.
So it's not a case of a game that's been gone for a while, like a Vault, where all of a sudden it's like, oh, look, here's a new LE art package of Tron, and let's see what happens with that. Like that, I think flies off the shelf at 500 or 1,000 units. But you do a game where if you wanted one and you couldn't bear to pay the secondhand price on the LE models, you just get a premium.
Yeah.
You get premium new in box. So given that, I just don't think it really shakes things up very much, other than I think it makes Stern some quick cash. It might make some Distro some quick cash, and it makes a few LE buyers probably mad. But
yeah, those are all valid points. Chat, go ahead and write in chat which art package do you like better? So you're going to write new for the new one, or old for the old one? New or old? New or old? Which one do you like better? Craig Bobby was the first one on it. New. So really, it's red or green. Red or green.
I think the red does pop a little bit
Chris, more. Your mom. That's what he writes.
I like the new better myself.
Yeah, new.
I think they've improved it, but
is it still Johnny Crap?
I'm assuming it's Johnny Crap, because these were
nothing
leaked.
Changed on the playfield. So
this was a leaked image. So there hasn't been did Crap to the art? Yeah, I don't know. It looks consistent to be Johnny Crap. So, but yeah, you think dinosaurs, you think green, right? You do think green with dinosaurs, but at the same time, I do like the artwork. I do like the artwork on the new one. I do like it a lot. Maybe it's because I don't like these lollipop rails as much. I'm glad that that Stern moved to these triangular ones. But is this enough of a change? Like, if I was an LE buyer, is this enough of a change that I'd be selling my old LE to buy this new one? Don't know. Depends on how much money you have and what.
I doubt it. I
Yeah.
wouldn't.
'Cause
I
you-
mean, yeah, I love the green package too. The red package is the new shiny though, right?
Yeah.
That's the thing. And if somebody can sell, an LE close to what you could buy this LE for, then I suppose someone would switch. I mean,
Sure.
I don't know what LEs are going for on the secondhand market now. Because I mean, it's been a few years, so I don't know how many there are.
I would assume your LE just dropped to $12,500, right? I mean,
Yeah.
is that? I don't know if somebody was
But
selling
did
an
it though?
LE last week.
Because I mean, is it that's sort of the question we're asking. Did it though? Is it different enough? Is it different enough to differentiate a value difference between the two trim levels? Not trim levels, but the
Yeah.
two differences, right? You're looking at a 30th anniversary. Initially my thought was they're going to be remaking the 1993 Data East version of Jurassic Park.
That would have been fun.
Yeah.
That'd have been
I think
fun.
it might have been fun
Uh,
if they updated the mechs and all that stuff, and they didn't even need to do anything with the DMD. Just get a color DMD put into it or something. That kind of stuff. I thought might have been kind of fun, but
Yeah.
I have something that I mean. I think it's too soon to say really exactly what I agree. I do think, Joel, that the impact will be that the old LE will fall in valuation, but I think it's too soon to say how much. But here's something that came up in our TPS Patreon Discord that I want to throw out here because it was something I had not initially thought about. But one could say this does open the gate now. Stern has said we are willing to do new LEs as long as they're new cosmetic schemes.
Yeah.
So while I don't think this necessarily has a direct impact on Venom, does this mean other games? And I'm thinking like James Bond LE. And now does this mean people are going to be like, there's going to be a Goldfinger art package now. It's going to be a whole new run of LEs. Does that immediately get people who maybe have been considering now that the code is improving, getting into Bond? Or are they going to be looking to get out of their LEs because they're going to be afraid that they know that's an LE art package that's going to fall like a stone if Goldfinger comes out. So
yeah, that's really interesting. And I don't know if this is a joke or not, but Pinball Eddie just here in chat said Godzilla 70th anniversary LE next year. Like that would be crazy if they did something like that. Or even if you ignore the anniversary thing, there's rumors that Stranger Things is going to be remade. So instead of doing Stranger Things Vault, what's keeping them from doing Stranger Things LE and just doing like a different LE package kind of thing? I mean,
what if this is Stern? What if this is Stern testing the market on? Okay, so we're up to 1,000 LEs now, but to this point, generally all 1,000 LEs have looked the same. So they're saying, well, let's throw in another 500 Jurassic Parks. We'll change the art package, see how that does. And then maybe down the road, we'll start seeing, two kinds of LEs to make up their 1,000 now, where it's, maybe it's not such a different art package, but maybe you have, the trim, the different color trim or something like that, just to make it different. So, because 500 LEs of the green is still 500 LEs, right? I mean, there's not 1,000 of them. There's still only 500, and then there's only 500 of the 30th anniversary ones. So technically, an LE buyer shouldn't be as mad as one would think because it's not an exact replica of what's in their basement already, right? There is some differences. So
yeah,
and that's where I think some will agree with you, Mike. I think some will be like, it looks different. It's not the same. And others will be like, no, it was called an LE. And here's another thing called an LE. And we were promised 500 LEs when Jurassic Park came out. We don't play by these new ridiculous 1,000 plus count rules.
Well, two things I did notice is one, the art blades look to be the exact same. So I know that it's like the art package is completely different, but the art blades look to be the exact same. So that's something where it's like I don't know if people care about that or not, but on certain games the art blades on the LE actually look really cool, and I really wish they sold them. Like the Deadpool art blades on the LE are actually awesome, and I wish they sold those, but they don't. The only other thing I would think of is if you're an original LE buyer, you bought this thing for $8,800. So you probably shouldn't be too mad, right, that you bought this game for sub 9K and then now people have a similar game, but they're paying $13,000 for it. So that's good. Where I feel bad is the premium buyers, the people that are like, I can buy one right now, new in box, because there is a chance that they would have forked over a little more money and bought the limited edition version of them if they could have. One thing I will be looking out for tomorrow during the announcement, I don't know, but when I looked at the game, the only mech that I can think of that people do complain about is rejects from the T-Rex, and that's where his mouth just doesn't catch the ball every time. So I'd be very curious if they made any tweak to this mech to make it like, if there was one piece of copy that says improve T-Rex mech for better consistent ball catching, like that one line alone I think would piss off so many premium and LE owners, because now they feel like they actually have an inferior game, right? It's not just cosmetic.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'll be
Improved
very
mechs.
curious if they change anything on this playfield. I don't know if they will or not, but
I would doubt it, Joel, just because they're going to just use all these parts that they've been, using already in all their production, which is ongoing for these titles. I don't know, that's just my opinion.
So
I would be really surprised.
I think they would have highlighted. I saw somewhere there. I think it was it Stern where they put out their press release on what the game is. I think they would have emphasized an
If they did it.
enhancement.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's happened in the past before. So
We
yeah,
have
no, I think Craig's right.
We have a real Jeep now in the
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
Well,
That was my
Yeah.
that was my guess. Was maybe they got
Sorry.
like a
actual
license
Jeep
with
license?
Jeep to do. I mean, this is. I don't. Gosh, this is gonna sound a little harsh, but this is pretty low effort. I mean, it
Yeah.
basically is they paid an artist to come
Yeah.
up with some new art
Another one.
package, and they threw it on there and changed the shape of the rail so Joel wouldn't be mad about lollipops.
Yeah.
And
So-
you
I
know,
mean, how do we
pretty
even
ea-
know?
pretty
How do we
easy
even know?
cash.
Yeah, how do we even know this is a new art package? This could have been a fourth one
Sure.
that they said, you know what, this is really good, but we're going to go with the green one instead.
yeah,
and
because
then,
dinosaurs are green.
Well,
Yeah.
there's three row comics real quick. One thing I did realize is how much they're accentuating the truck on the old LE. I mean, that's like a quarter of the back glass, and it's almost half of this right side of the playfield, or of the cabinet itself. That truck is not on the new LE. Like, they definitely accentuated the dinosaurs. So, and this is not a Jeep, right? Second thing that I'm seeing, Zach actually mentioned that just mechs change subtly over time regardless of new models. So that's a good point. I have seen that on like the current runs of Deadpool, the rails don't touch the playfield in some, like, so they do adjust. I get that. And so I've heard that before. I know Nick on Buffalo Pinball has always stated, like, if you really love a game, try to get, a game a year or a year and a half after they start making them, because you're going to get a game with all the improvements. That's great if the game's a hit, but then there's other games like Rush where I think they only did 1 or 2 runs. Sorry, Craig. Sorry to bring it up, but and then you can't. You wait too long, and you're not in the mood, and you miss out on your game.
And summarily canceled. No,
Yeah.
I love how they're giving people heads ups, like, oh yeah, last
Yeah.
call for Avengers,
Yeah,
last call for whatever, and no rush. No, they just canceled that
But
sucker.
even those last calls, Craig, as I found out, are
I know.
after they're done making them. I thought that meant one more run, but
yeah.
I was wrong. No, it's last call is just maybe your distro's got one
Yeah,
lying
maybe
around.
Good luck.
And then George, Don't Panic Flip, actually threw out a really good question in chat, and I'm curious what your thoughts are, because there are distros that still have Bond 60ths in stock. Bond 60th anniversary, that's the $20,000 game, or they're for sale right now, and it looks like some of them are selling around the $12,500, $13,000 realm. So the question is, which one do you want? Would you rather have a Bond 60th or this? So, Dennis, you have a very interesting game room for the same price, $13,000. Which one would you rather have? Both Keith Owen, Bond 60th, or Jurassic Park?
Yeah, I know,
30th?
but it would be Bond 60th for me.
Okay.
Because it's so different, and the bottom line is, even though these are the same price, I could still get a premium with all the mechanical
Oh.
features of this. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't see. I'm not in the LE world, so for me, the premium would have only been the option I'd ever consider.
Wait, Zach, wait. Bond 60th new for 13. I haven't heard that. Not there's.
Well, look, some
Yeah.
people are offering deals. We're just saying
Yeah.
that there are
Make me
deals.
an offer. Make me an
Call
offer.
call to discuss.
Yes. That was George's question, Zach. So get on him. No, I don't know, Mike. You have a very unique assortment of games. What are your between those two?
I would go Bond. I would go Bond as well. I think I just think that is a rare game. You know, like there's Jurassic Parks out there, just like Dennis said. There's not other versions of this
Sure.
version of Bond. There's only 500. There's how many thousands of Jurassic Parks out there? Yes, there's only a certain number of premiums and LEs, but there's way more out there than there are Bonds. I think I would have much less of a chance to play the Bond 60th, so I'd have to have that. Yeah.
Okay, Craig, you can fit two. What game? Yeah, you haven't had Jurassic Park.
No, but I have played it a number of times, and I really like that title. Actually, I think it's fun, and I can see why it has stuck around for as long as it has. Of course, being a Keith Owen design. But I think at the end of the day, I'm with Dennis on this one. That I would, from what I've seen of Bond 60th, I think that is an extremely unique and what seems to be a fast-playing, fun title, and I would take that over JJP or over a JP, just because I think over time that Bond one will be the more sought after of the two, just because of the number of them or the lack of number of them out there.
And I'm seeing that in chat as well. It seems like a lot of people are like, which is interesting because you can get the premium. There is another option. There is a cheaper option out there. That is available, and I want to search this real quick.
LEs are really only for a very specific type of collector or buyer. It's not the majority of the hobby. We disproportionately give them attention, but
what if they did this? What if they released the Bond 60th as a regular title for half the price?
I mean, my initial speculation when it came out was that they could reuse that layout for a different theme.
Yeah.
Just to fully distance themselves from, because I think those people are going to be maybe extra pissy if you kind of say, "Hey, surprise!" So
Bond for the people.
We got
gotta
have that be we'll have that be the new Jaws game, and it'll be okay.
Yeah, if they do that, then I can definitely then sort of see where LE or these 60th owners would be upset if they start releasing extra versions of it at what, $7,000 than the original, $7,000 less than the original cost. I mean,
yeah.
So I just searched Jurassic Park LE because I wanted to see how many if Pinside had a bunch. This one on the left here was added today. So that was added today. So I'm assuming this guy's upgrading.
Yeah, this guy's looking for a.
This guy wasn't. This was added a few weeks ago, but his price is $12,500. So I don't think it says if it's edited, because I'm curious if he edited this today. And then this other guy is out. He's $17,500 firm. Yeah, you're out of luck, bud.
Well, he has not. He's got nice mods on it,
and a great description too.
He'll work with your shipper with one pick. Let me make sure. I'm not even going to turn the game on. That would be too much effort.
Wow.
I'm just going to take a pick
That's
here.
what I never. Okay, so I don't want to get into a tangent, but one thing I never understood is people. These are like the price of vehicles and stuff. So when you're putting an ad up for your game, put up nice pictures. Putting up one picture from a side angle with your game off is not going to sell your game. I'm sorry.
A tiny bit of effort.
I just wanted to get that out.
No, I think it's absolutely a valid complaint. So I don't know. I'm curious. People, we have a decent number of people in chat. If you're an LE owner, if you happen to be an LE owner of Jurassic Park, please comment in chat. Do you care? Like, just start with, I'm an LE owner. Do you care? Like, I care or I'm mad. I'm very curious if we have any LE owners in the chat here that care about this. And then the second question would be, I'm trying to think of the games that are available right now and in stock. So if you're an LE owner of Iron Maiden, well, Iron Maiden's not being made anymore. LE owner of Deadpool, or you're an LE owner of Godzilla, if all of a sudden there was a new LE version of those, would you care? So Juicy Time, nah. He doesn't care. Doesn't care. I don't know. I don't know if that's every game's in stock, Joel. That's right. Every game is in stock right now, pretty much. So I don't know. I just like I thought earlier. I was more concerned about, or I wasn't worried about the LE owners. I was more worried about the premium buyers, the guys that just recently bought a game that this game's been out long enough that it's like, this is my favorite game of all time. Let me go ahead and buy it brand new. Yeah. So,
well,
but this LE hasn't devalued the premium.
Yeah.
No. The only question I have is I mean, is there enough extra LE buyers out there that want this 500 LEs, or are they banking on people just switching or upgrading or not? Like,
I saw Zach in chat earlier said there were people. I don't know if he wrote they
I
tried
did see that too.
to trade in, or if people are wanting, or that's the thing. If I can trade in, so there are people inquiring about trading in their premium or trading in their LE for this.
So then in that case, will that bring your premiums down? Will that bring your price of your pros down too? If people are trying to trade and upgrade, maybe these people missed out on LEs years ago.
Yeah.
Right. And they settled for premiums. And now premiums are just going to flood the market now because now they get to upgrade to the 30th. Right. So I can see, possibly a trickle down effect, maybe not to the pros so much, but definitely maybe into the premiums a little bit. You might see a spike in some of them going for sale, but.
Chris Ryan, is there anything different with the new one? I mean, there really hasn't been much officially released, but from the video that leaked and the pictures that leaked, it doesn't look like anything's new besides just cosmetic graphics. And then Zach, this is Jurassic Park, one of the greatest games ever. Of course, people want the LE. I think it's going to sell. I think all 500 of them will sell out. There obviously are aftermarket. I know Zach was advertising earlier on Flipping Out. If you need the topper, you can get the topper from him. If you need the shooter rod, those are out. Those are available. There's people that have them. I know Zach has them. So if this is interesting to you, I mean, the official release of this and the video are going to come out tomorrow. I just thought this was kind of a surprise. I don't know, like this, we kind of had this situation when Elvira 40th came out, but Elvira, like how pissed would the LE owners of Elvira be? But
Elvira 40th was the big difference there, in my opinion, would be, and someone can correct me because I lose track of things, but they remember the whole production line had been stalled for a really long time. So you couldn't get Elvira premiums.
Yeah,
they were forever backlogged, and then all of a sudden the 40ths came out. So I think that really pressured a lot of people to go ahead and jump on a 40th that they might not have been comfortable doing, but they wanted the game so bad. And I think some of them waited over a year. I mean, Stern just didn't want to make Elvira. I don't know. It was the weirdest decision, I thought.
What if in this case they didn't price it? They did the same thing, and then they allowed dealers to do it. How would that affect your owners now?
Dealers set the
price,
right?
Because that's what they did with the Elvira, right? They made the extra Elviras, and then they just kind of said, go
no MSRP,
no MSRP, yeah. So what if they went that route with these? Then is this more of a special game than just an LE? Then is there a distinction? Then there may not be as much of an effect in value difference there.
I don't know. Win Raider Joe.
Would people buy them though? Right? Would people buy them at 15, 16, 17,000?
I think 13's. A lot of the speculation when this first came out, it was only like a 1 or 2 hour window. Was people are like, this is going to be a $25,000 game? People assume the worst. Yeah. So I was actually very surprised that it was 13K.
Yeah.
But at the same time, now all of a sudden your 13K pin, it's like you have one of the greatest games of all time that you can buy brand new. LE is now competing against Venom, which you announced a few weeks ago and still haven't shipped. So I'm surprised that they made those so comparable. But I did want to say, Joe, Wind Raider, when are these available? Right now. So you can call Zach at Flipping Out. Tell him you saw this on Flipping Out with Friends, and I will guarantee you no discount. But feel free to mention it, But yeah, we'll see. I think they'll all sell. And to be honest, and somebody said it earlier, and it was a great idea. If Godzilla's 70th anniversary is next year, if that's actually real or not, if they did this with Godzilla, I'm pretty sure all those would sell like immediately. And I don't know. I think this game is a good enough game. I don't know. I don't blame Stern for doing it, but at the same time, I do know you're probably pissing your current owners off, but also exciting a lot of new owners or people that are wanting or considering upgrading. And I don't know. Is this bad? Like, maybe that's a question. Is this a good look or bad look for Stern? Is this a, like, as pinball enthusiasts, do we care, or does it give you reservation on? Is this give reservation to future LE buyers, like you were saying with Bond 60th, or not Bond 60th with Bond?
I've seen
LEs?
some say yes. So again, I'm not an LE. I'm not an LE. And someone earlier in the chat had said, well, of course, LE buyers are more limited. There's a limited count, which is very true. Yeah. But potential LE buyers fall into the same pool as people who have actually successfully obtained one. I've seen some say that they're not going to buy. They claim, of course, the proof of the pudding will be in the eating, but they claim they will not buy LEs after this because they don't trust that Stern will betray them by putting out a new iteration of the LE. But honestly, in the realm of despicable behavior that one might have with a company, this is not at the top, not even for compared to other things Stern has done before, which has been actually to raise the LE count of the original LE, which they did on Munsters. So no, this is to me, this is I think it's amoral. It's neither moral nor immoral.
I mean, maybe I'm just sounding dumb here, but I mean, I know you're very into the watches hobby. I feel like you can take one style of watch and they make it look one way and it's limited edition, and then a year later they just change a little bit on it and now you have a new limited edition. Is that a similar thing here, or does that piss the first LE watch owner, or they just look at them in two different watches and they'll buy them?
Some get mad, some don't. It just depends.
Yeah. All right, but why can't other people get one that might have missed out on one years ago? That's something that we keep coming back to. Yeah. That there are new people that come into pinball all the time, and if you're a Greg Bone and you just discovered pinball and you're that into Jurassic Park, you'd probably be so let down that you missed out on buying the best model of Jurassic Park, and now you have an opportunity to buy it new.
I don't think it's actually the original LE owners that would be most likely to be angry. It would be someone who perhaps relatively recently bought one secondhand.
Oh, okay. Yeah. At the 17.5.
That new person in the hobby. Like, I love Jurassic Park and I got to have the LE. And so they went out and they paid secondhand market prices and obtained one. And then this comes out.
Yeah.
I have a friend who posted an LE here in Ottawa, maybe about 2 months ago, and I think it's priced a little higher than what the LE, and that's what they were going for here now. And I'm sure that this has disrupted the market a little bit here anyway for the LEs. Yeah. It's a very different market up here still than it is in the US. It's very strange. It's not consistent because some games are worth more in Canada than they are in the US, and then it's the opposite on some other games. It's very strange right now still.
Yeah, well, Tex here in chat said he's about ready to buy a Godzilla Premium. So he's by doing that, he's almost confirming that there will be a Godzilla another LE round in a few months. That's just how fate works. Right?
Yeah.
No, I think it's cool. I'm curious to see what they say tomorrow. If it really comes out to what we're seeing right now, where it just looks to be a cosmetic package, I'm sorry for the people that just recently bought the game. At the same time, for the people that are stoked at having a chance at, this top tier, good on them. And we'll see. Other news. Bond. Have any of you played Bond recently? Because the hype of that game, I know Jack Danger on that's another thing. Stern Pinball streamed today during the middle of the day. They streamed on YouTube. They are moving their streaming of games to YouTube. And Jack Danger said that at the beginning of the stream that apparently him and Zach Shark had a conversation, and they're going to now move the live events to YouTube. So it's not going to be on Dead Flip anymore. It's going to be actually on Stern's YouTube channel. So there was a stream of that today. and they streamed the 0.95 code of Bond. I don't know if George, don't panic flip, if you're still in chat. I know he's been streaming the game a lot recently as well, and he's really enjoying it. So it seems like that game is really coming along. The code's really fleshing out. I don't know. Thoughts? Have any of you played Bond recently on any of the new code?
I played it a few weeks ago, but I think there's been a couple of updates since then, if not at least one update. So, but it was coming along when I played it as well, and I was enjoying it. The playfield multipliers were there now with the collecting them on the Bond girls. I could definitely see the game coming along, and I knew it would.
Yeah.
I knew it would. I mean, they usually always do, right? Like there's, the code. Like look at Guardians, Stranger Things. Tons of, not tons, but lots of games came out. Even Turtles, right? They came out with this, weaker codes, and it just took a while for the game to I guess get good. And then now people, so you might see a flux of Bond now, maybe trending up.
Trending up. We're going to say that. And
Trending up.
I'm pretty sure Zach has them in stock. So if you're interested in buying a Bond right now, check out Flip It Out. And Zach, okay, so Dennis, I'm going to make this comment because I've already seen Dennis react one time like this. I know recently on the Pinball Show, and a lot of people think that the pinball market is going down, and it looks like it is going down. But Zach did reach out to me today and said, if everybody's getting all doom and gloom on the pinball market, he just wanted to point out that actually recently he has sold a Bond 60th, a used Bond 60th, a Godfather CE. Like, games still are selling. Even these high tier games are selling. So it's not as terrible as it comes out. And Dennis is writing something. It is, don't be silly. Okay, yes, it's all coming crashing down is what Dennis is saying. George is here. Yep, enjoying the game. 0.95 is good. New mini wizard mode. And I saw some other people. Conti said he has an LE that he's enjoying, or he has one that he's really enjoying. Chong 8585 own an LE. It's great. So part of me really wanted Bond to suck because David Dennis owns one. And I just really wanted him to be stuck with a terrible game. But I'm really happy, though. I'm really happy that game is being fleshed out. I know I interviewed George months back, and he really wants this game to be good. So I think it's awesome. I think it also is really good for Stern's track record, too, to show that they really are going to make every game they make good and enjoyable. So I think it's awesome. I think it's awesome that game is continuing to develop and get more fleshed out, and hopefully more people buy it and have a chance to play it.
Well, just speaking of YouTube, and just to back up just slightly, was it not hilarious to anybody that the images for this game got leaked yet again by somebody guessing the YouTube
unlisted URL?
Yeah. Like, is that, how many times does this have to happen in this industry for manufacturers, where someone just goes on and just starts randomly putting in addresses and comes up with a video or images that have yet to be posted on the day? Like, who's in charge of these, or of the marketing department over there? Like, what? I can't understand this. I understand once. But like repeatedly, like it seems like every release or every other release, somebody is leaking images based on simple URL addresses. Like, I can't get this. I can't understand this.
I don't know. I don't know that answer as a.
I mean, I just find it hilarious. Anyway.
Yeah, as a fan, I'm glad they're leaked, right? But as a, if
and
I
then
was,
they're like, so how is this happening?
Yeah.
How is this happening?
Baby's first YouTube upload.
Like,
I don't have that answer. I mean, they maybe instead of going unlisted, they go private, and then you can't find it, or even if you find it, you can't view it. But I don't know. We'll see. G Money, as a pinball buyer, I just needed to catch my breath. Tron for. Yeah, well, that's another. I did actually mention this to a friend earlier. That was, as a distributor, I mean, they're just this game came out of nowhere, the Bond 30th. So I feel like distros already have a lot of money tied up in inventory that they ordered a while ago, plus Venom inventory that they're sitting on, whether they're premiums, Godfathers, JJP games, and now all of a sudden it's just like boom. Like, here's a new game. Here's your allocation. And I know that distributors feel pressure where it's like, if you're allocated 10 games, you better buy all 10 games or you're not going to get as much next game. And that's going to be Elwyn's game, whatever that's going to be. So how they balance the money on games coming in versus games going on, I don't know that. I don't know that, but I don't know.
That's tough. That's definitely tough because you know, they have to buy their allotments right away, right? There's no sitting on it, especially if they want LE allotments or premium allotments. And the more you buy, the more you get, right? Like, uh, you can get more premiums if you get more pros. If you get more LEs, you can, you know, that's the way I believe it works, or I presume it works,
Yeah.
right? But you can't, you know, decide whether or not you want, you know, a certain amount. You kind of just buy your allotment, whatever you're allowed to buy. And it feels like, you know, unfortunately, with the way things are, some of these titles are still sitting new in box, and people aren't buying them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a big Zach and I had a big discussion of that on the pinball show for this week, and because one of the issues that I mean, I assume there's probably another industry somewhere that does this, but I don't know of it. But this rule, and it's not just Stern, it's all these manufacturers have with these
Yeah.
contracts with their distributors, which mandate in order to preserve your contract that you can never go below a certain set minimum price. And for many of the manufacturers, and Stern is an exception on this regard by and large, but it's not below MSRP. Like MSRP is the minimum advertised price, and it's also the minimum sales price. And if you are caught ever selling below it, you could lose your distribution agreement.
Mhm.
And it's and you know, I don't want to get all heated again, but I find the model ridiculous, totally asinine. And I don't see whose benefit it truly serves. I suppose the manufacturers think it serves them in some capacity, but it's exactly what Mike has indicated. I'm going to use JJP as the example. You had Guns N' Roses, which sold gangbusters, probably over 4,000 units just on the LE model. And so distros bought a lot of Toy Story 4s, and they either have been stuck with inventory or had to lose deposits because they had to put a deposit down up front before they even got their games.
Yep.
And then Godfather comes out, and it's another game that doesn't move. And at some point, they'll either have to stop buying more games from JJP because they can't take the gamble, or give up their distribution. I mean, they could always sell whatever the price they want and give up their distribution agreement. So it doesn't encourage ambitious ordering if you know that the company doesn't always turn out winners.
Yeah.
And JJP ran into that for quite a while now, but now that the market is softening because it is trending down as a market, as many markets are, it's not pinball specific, but we're seeing the slow movement of Venom. And I think people are and we saw the slow movement on 007. And so I think that people are going to start asking that question with Stern as well. The distributors are. Foo Fighters was an exception, but even now it seems Foo Fighters production's caught up. So I don't know.
Yeah, you can get them now. I've seen them advertised. You can call your distributor and get them.
Yeah. I mean, it does seem like I agree with you, Dennis. Like the distributor is eating it twice. It's not only is there a floor that they're supposedly not allowed to sell under, but then they're also, you know, being told they have to buy a certain number, or they're going to be, you know, of the LEs, or else their allocation gets reduced on the next release.
Mhm.
So it's like
Yep.
their hands are tied both ways, which you know skews. It reminds me of like the old way, I think, of like a very, I think, outdated way for manufacturers to think, which is to be like, slap their hands together and go, okay, everybody, here's what we're going to build today. Take it. And they're like so out of touch with what the market wants. Like, we don't care if the market doesn't want, you know, Godfather LE. We're going to make, you know, 10,000. And damn you distributors, but you're each taking, you know, 20 or 50 of these things. You know, market be damned, that's your problem, but this is what we're making today. Like,
Right.
that's what it smells to me like, which is like, I agree with you, Dennis, a very old way of thinking.
Maybe that's where they think, they being the manufacturers think, oh, we're so much nicer than we were in the 90s when it was, here's Popeye, you will take this many number, you will pay us for this number and you will take them. And Europe is like, well, no one here knows Popeye. And Williams was, we don't care.
Yeah.
That's the model. And
Because
you're going to take them.
if I knew that this was coming, let's say, and I'm like, okay, well, I understand I can't sell at a certain price, but I'm only going to take 10. That's it. I don't want to take 20 or 30 or 40 of these because I know they're going to sit on my shelf. And I think it's detrimental to the manufacturer as well because there's cash sitting there on the shelf that the distributor then can't buy from the manufacturer
It's
again.
also
So it's self-defeating. It's so self-defeating.
It's also
Like,
space.
yeah,
Yeah.
like
It's
the whole
everything.
thing
Yeah.
is it's a
And-
lose-lose at the end of the day. I
And
think.
it seems like I think, yeah, I agree, Craig. I think that it feels to me like the manufacturers are losing sight of, if they want the distros to buy, they're the ones that buy in bulk. They don't want to do one-off sales to individual customers. Those companies that do, by and large, they don't want to go to that. Then it's all like really short term. They're just thinking about that immediate sale and not thinking about the longer term impact. And I can understand, I can sympathize with the notion of that maybe initially there should be some controls. But let's take Led Zeppelin, for example. It's not being built anymore. I should be able to buy that game at a fire sale. I should be able to buy a new in box
100%.
at fire sale that it's sold at it's not even at the price it launched at. It's at the price Foo Fighters is at now. That's the MSRP.
Yeah,
because it kept going up with all the rest of the games. It's like this is goofy. This is not a sane model, and defending it is insanity.
I totally agree, and that's something that I know. Like GNR, like Zach has GNRs in stock. That was 2 games ago. Led Zeppelin not even being made anymore. I mean, those are definitely, those are the ones where if all of a sudden, if you're a distributor and JJP was announcing their next game tomorrow, and all of a sudden they're like, hey, why are you turning down some of your allocation? It's like, well, I have your last 3 games in stock right now, and that's money tied up that I can't buy your new game from. That would be, to me, if I was a manufacturer, your goal is the games that you make, you have to get out the door. Somebody has to buy those. They're not stocking them. So if the money is tied up with games that are already sitting on the shelf, then I don't know. They need to work with distributors in some way to do that. And yeah,
There's
especially
gotta be
with
a middle
these,
ground there.
maybe I think the middle ground, or at least you brought up a great point, Dennis, where it's like the Led Zeppelins that were made were not made at today's pricing. They were made at the old pricing. So at least let them sell them at the
leave
old
them
pricing.
there. Yeah, leave them
like,
there.
do some. There needs to be some understanding, but
I don't even, honestly, even at the old pricing, I don't think they'd move at this point. You need to have some ability to liquidate. There has to be some. In the watch world, they have the gray market. In the car world, that's different because they use loans to get the property, which is something I didn't know about until David Dennis educated me on the finances of that. But they have incentives to, like, things sitting on the lot are bad for them, and the manufacturers understand that.
Yeah.
They're allowed to, push and do those year-end closeouts and month-end closeouts and things. And I don't know if pinball is just manufacturers just don't really think about the distributor side of it, or it's archaic legacy concepts from the old days. They could make it a lot better for everyone, better for the consumer, better for the distributor, and in the long term it would be better for the manufacturer, I believe. But I think that they're almost that stereotype of a corporation chasing short-term profit investment returns, which is funny because they're all privately owned. And instead of thinking about, hey, we might in the long run be able to sell across 5 of these games a lot better if there wasn't a disincentive to keep investing in our products, because occasionally we're turning out turds.
yeah, I agree.
And that's the problem. If you want 50, Foo Fighter LEs, well, you got to take the 50 turd LEs that came before it as well, right? And then of course there's money tied up in that, but there's also space. These things take up so much space, and without new people in the hobby, I mean, all of our spaces are going to run out too, right? I mean. Just like distributors' spaces are going to run out. So then what happens? Where do these games go? Who's going to manufacture them? Like, are we going to come to that point? There definitely, I feel like, does need to be a change in model and the way things work right now. We can't have these distributors who are buying all these games and then sitting on, I don't know. I can't even imagine how many, maybe Zach sitting on or other distributors are sitting on 10s, 20, 30 of each title. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a great. This is all good points. We don't know the right answer, and I think it's interesting what you brought up on the pinball show is, Zach jokingly said, make me an offer. And I hope he doesn't get, his wrist slapped for doing that, because I think I obviously I want Zach to buy new games. I want him to continue to sell new games. And if all of a sudden a business can't be a business because all their money's tied up in old games. That doesn't help anybody. But yeah, new in stock. I mean, I just pulled up Zach's website, like flipitout.com. He's got pretty much everything in stock, ready to go. From
even
multiple
Godzilla premiums in stock.
He actually, Godzilla premiums were actually in stock. So
See?
I mean, it's pretty much everything. I think like Foo Fighters premiums probably aren't, but besides that, he's got almost every other game that you'd want.
And
which is pretty
every
cool.
one of those games has already been paid for 100% to Stern.
Yeah,
and
Stern
who's paid for these games right now, right? It's Zach. It's flipping out, right?
Yeah,
I
exactly.
mean, they paid for those games, so maybe Stern needs to have a little more skin in the game, and maybe they send the games out to the distributors, but some of them don't sell. So then Stern has to do something, right? I mean, once they're all bought, it's not our problem anymore. You deal with it, right? And that's really the essentially what they've done here.
One of the things that I think Zach brought up on the show was the notion about not wanting to I think he brought it about not wanting to cheapen the product, which I know I pushed back on it.
Yeah, they're protecting the asset.
Yeah, I pushed back on that a bit because these aren't really quote unquote luxury products despite their pricing. But something we have seen in those spaces, which I have a lot of trouble imagining pinball doing, but is conceptually possible, is if they don't do a loan out model, they could offer some sort of buyback provisions. If they're worried about there being too many Led Zeppelins and they want to retake possession of them and destroy them or whatever, that could be an opportunity. They do it in watches.
They destroy watches.
Sure, Cartier doesn't want too many of their watches floating around. People won't buy them. They destroy them.
They want to protect the value of their product.
That's a luxury brand. So there's a reason for that, because they want their brand to mean something. Pinball, coming from this operator realm, it's just not been in that same space. But conceptually, it's an option. You wouldn't have to necessarily do that. You could do some sort of buyback.
Yeah.
But I just don't see them making that leap. There would be a less painful leap for the manufacturers just to finally say, you know what, after 24 months, there are no floors. Do what you want. Or once it goes out of production.
Or I mean, even if Stern, and I know it's more than Stern, but if Stern said, like, they could reach out to all their distributors right now and just say, hey, if you have Led Zeppelins in stock, feel free to sell them at the original price you bought them. Like, just if they want to go title by title and announce, like, they could do something. But I mean, JJP, I know Zach said he has GNR in stock, he has Toy Story in stock, he now has Godfather in stock. So that's gonna be tough if JJP announces a new game tomorrow. How many is he going to order? People are
going to be looking for those Simpsons pinball parties still new in box at distributors, selling them at the 2003 price.
Well, and I did see a question in the chat that I will address from Kirk asking if do I call a $12,000 watch a luxury product? Yes, I do. Pinballs are exactly the same. No, they are not. Do we call a $12,000 car a luxury product? We do not. You can buy a watch for under $100. You can't buy a pinball machine that cheap. It's all relative.
All right.
And I think and the other thing too, Dennis, and you can correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I think the point you were making too on the show is that really the essence of a pinball machine is still a money making commercial device that enthusiasts like us have taken under our wing and decided, well, fuck that, we want it in our homes. But that was not the intention of this industry by any means. It was
not originally. And I think they very much do want to move into the space, and I think they want things like the LE to be seen as a luxury product, and they can do that. I don't think that it seems like though that they want to have their cake and eat it too. Mm-hmm. And that's where I've criticized, like, if it's a luxury product, do we really expect to see visible spot welds? That's stuff that we wouldn't see on the interior of a luxury car. I mean, one can disagree, absolutely, but that's the aspect. It's not just dollars alone doesn't make something what's luxury or non-luxury. There's plenty of really expensive things that are optional that are not seen as luxury goods. So, but I mean, that's my interpretation. We all have our own definitions.
Well, this is a great conversation. I know we've had it for a while, and this until we actually see a change from a manufacturer. I don't know if it's gonna go away, but
No.
but yeah, I do know. I mean, the good part is if you are looking to buy a pinball machine, there's a lot of them out there right now. So this is definitely the pinball buying time. Selling, it's a little different. It's a lot harder to sell. If you wanted to sell your Godzilla, it would be a lot harder to do that because you can buy them new in box. I mean, that's just how it is.
It's also the time
but-
of year. Summer's always a slower lull period for selling, and
Really fun game. Oh, sorry, I got a OBS Studio here. Hopefully we're good. Anyways, we're gonna play a really fun game. We've played this before, actually, with this group, and this is definitely an interactive game with chat. But basically, the thought here is Pinside. Pinside has their top whatever list. And this is where people rank. I think you have to have like 30 or so reviews for your game to make the top, I think it's 200 something list. And so I'm going to
300.
go ahead
Actually, I
and
think
show
it was-
this. It's actually, and this is the help that I'm going to give. So the lowest ranked game on the Pinside top 287 list is Thunderbirds. So the game here is I'm going to have chat recommend or offer up a pinball machine, and then the four of us are going to guess the position that game is going to fall, or that machine is going to fall on the list of 287. So the cheat here is what I have listed right here. Right now, Godzilla is number 1. Number 75 is X-Men. This would be Stern's X-Men. Number 150, so roughly in the middle, is Xenon. Then 225 is the Star Wars trilogy, and then the last one. So that kind of gives us, because what we'll see is once we actually start doing these other ones, we can kind of go off of those values. So
and obviously we cannot use the ones that are
and
that are on
these
the left. Those are the ones
yeah,
we use.
we have
right?
played this game before. I actually don't remember them, but yeah. So we'll start with turtles. Why? Because I like turtles. All right, TMNT. TMNT, this is how it works. You guess the rank. If you guys want to pull up the Pinside top whatever, go for it. Otherwise, play along. Feel free to throw out what number you think it is. Please do not please don't look up the number and then tell us in chat. Please guess.
Yeah,
But that's how the game plays.
Yeah.
So
It's going to be on the up and up.
my game, I'm going to go Stern Turtles. I'm going to go ahead and go first because I freaking love this game. The majority, if X-Men is 75, the majority of modern Sterns, as in LCD Sterns, end up being in the top 50. That's roughly where they fall. So I know Turtles isn't nearly as liked as some of the other LCD games. So I'm picking 35. That's the number that sounds good to me. I'm picking 35. We'll just go right down the order here. I'm seeing some 40s, 27, 28. I'm going 35. Mike, you're up next. Where are we at?
Yeah, you're in my realm too, because I believe, and this has been a long time since I checked. I believe the Black Knight Sword of Rage is the lowest ranked modern Stern, and it was ranked higher than X-Men.
Oh,
And I think Turtles is probably ranked higher than Black Knight. And I have a honeymoon phase with it, so I'm probably going to be a little higher too. I'm going to say 30.
30. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Craig.
27.
20, 27,
Ooh.
20. That's
Almost
we'll see. I
top
mean, we're gonna see
25.
here. We're gonna see here. And Dennis,
40.
40. All right. So
Wow,
if
we're
you
all
look at
really close here.
if you look at my fancy sheet over here, this is our average guess. So this is the average between what we think. So as a group, we think it lands right around 33. So this is where we play the fun game and we search it. And this is where you realize that I can't spell. Turtles, here we go. So this is where we scroll down, and it is 33. 33.
Oh, our average. Look
Our
at that.
average. So collectively, the four of us.
Perfect.
So if I type this in, 33, not 360.
I'm
Boom.
already losing the
There we
worst.
go. So this is how the game works. This is how the game works. So if you look, I was 35, so I was off by 2. Mike was 30, he was off by 3. Craig was off by 6, and Dennis was off by 7. Last time we played, I don't know if any of you happen to be here. We had to do all the math in our heads, and I struggled. So here we go. So here's our total down here. If we quit right now, I would have won. All right, next game. Spider-Man, actually. I like this. Let's go Spider-Man. This is going to be Stern Spider-Man. And I know Spider-Man, Spider-Man Vault, they're all lumped into one. They're all lumped into one here. Okay. So I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. If somebody wants to test that,
we'll just trust you. I don't want to get a sneak.
Pretty sure they're all lumped together. So here we are. Where's our spot? I'm gonna make you go first, Mike. I'm gonna make you go first.
This is
not Spider-Man the pin. No, Spider-Man.
That's not the same.
Yeah, Spider-Man Vault or the original Spider-Man.
They took the Amazing Spider-Man by Gottlieb, all the different versions.
No, we're not. We're doing Stern DMD. It's sitting right here. Stern DMD Spider-Man right here.
Okay.
So X-Men.
I gotta think this is higher rated than Turtles. I gotta say. I could be shooting myself because I'm looking at X-Men and I'm like,
X-Men 75.
But there's some DMDs that are up there still too, right? I don't know how many Stern, like aside from, Lord of the Rings, and I'm working through it here.
I know Lord of the Rings is like a top 10.
I'm gonna say.
Look, a lot of people are in the 50 range.
I'm gonna say 40. I'm gonna say 40.
40.
I'm gonna say 40.
40. This is interesting because Zach just commented and said 24. I think you're right. I think there's a chance.
I was going to say 18, but I don't know if I was going too low on that.
There's a chance that this. Okay, I'll hold my tongue. Craig, where are we at?
Yeah,
I do.
It is an extremely popular title. Probably. Why is his name escaping me? The original Steve Ritchie. I think it's one of his more popular designs. But I'm nervous to go much higher than what Mike, or much lower than what Mike said as well, because it is DMD. I'm going to say 30. I'm going to go with Joel's previous answer. I'm going to go 35.
I was going to say, it's not 33. I can tell you right now. It's not
for
30,
sure.
It's not 33. All right, Dennis.
20.
20.
Jeez,
so that's
I think I was worried I might have went too high. I don't know.
Mike, if you need to change, I'm not forcing you into anything.
No.
The code, I know. I think this is going to be lower than Turtles. So I
mean lower as in lower, like
a lower number. I think this game is more light than Turtles. So I'm in the 20 range, and I think just because it sounds good, I'm going to go 25. I'm going to go 25. Okay. Stick with that.
I don't know if I've ever looked up Spider-Man on it.
I haven't either.
It was always the layout's too much like Star Trek for me to be interested in it. But
I think you guys are right. Popular. Yeah, I was going to guess 18, but then I got cold feet.
All right, so we're going to go. We're going to go this one right here. So are we good? Are we good?
I mean, I'm not changing.
25.
That would.
31. 31.
Whoa,
31.
Not too bad. Not too bad. Still a decent.
Oh, yes,
Dennis. This is.
I'm going to lose this one. Not only lose as in last.
Oh,
this is
a
what
good
happens
one.
when you tell me I'm not allowed to do any research ahead of time.
Okay, none of us did. Data East Jurassic Park. So we had there's 3 Jurassic Parks, right? Now, so there was Stern Jurassic Park, Data East Jurassic Park, and there was a Lost World Jurassic Park, right? So,
and there's also Home Edition.
Correct. And so is the Data, and we didn't do this last time, is the Data East Jurassic Park liked more or less than Lost World? Do we know the consensus on that one?
I know the answer, but I am not divulging any information on
it. He's okay. Well,
Mike doesn't want to divulge. I'm willing to say that I believe it was liked better, but it's also that I think more people played it.
All right, Craig. You have to go first
Scroll
this
up
time.
a little bit, Joel, just so I can see the other low.
Oh,
the
low
lower-
scores.
the-
All right.
that-
So
the range.
yeah,
Looks like the range
if
there.
X-Men is at 75, Xenon's at 150.
I don't know if it's as
Shoot the Death Star.
I don't know this either. We have people in chat
That's the
saying
wrong
they're in the
Star Wars.
70s, they're in the 100. Jay
Yeah,
Sellers at
I-
83, but it's a popular title.
It is, yeah.
Data East's version of Adam's Family.
What?
That's
Yeah.
what people say. Yeah.
Oh, it's that well liked.
Well, I
more
don't
that
know
they
about-
copied, more that they kind of copied Adam's Family.
Yeah.
Wow. 67.
Oh,
So
yeah.
this could be anything. This could bring
Yeah.
you right back into it, Dennis. You're only off by 10 right now with our total.
I'm gonna say 80.
80.
Yeah, because I can't see it being better than I don't know. 80. I'm gonna go 80.
110.
Whoa.
Not
Oh,
1,000.
yeah.
No, I
You're
know,
trying
I know,
to
I
kill
know.
me.
Interesting,
I
do
know.
it.
I was initially my initial gut reaction was like, I bet this is somewhere. It's Xenon's 150. I'm like, this is going to be between X-Men and Xenon. So my initial impression was right around 100.
Try tube shot.
But this is a very liked
Yeah.
theme, and this is people consider this a good game.
Yep.
110.
Classic.
Watch this be like 140, and we're way off. I'm just gonna be lame and go 100. I'm just gonna be right. I know, but Mike feels like a 71. I think there's a chance we're all way overshooting this, or
Well, I
don't know.
the 110 scared me from going where I really want to go, but I should just jump in and do it, right? I mean, I should
Do
just
it.
make it interesting.
Yeah, the humiliation you'll feel by losing this stupid game.
65.
65.
Wow.
Oh boy.
Oh, this is gonna be a good one.
Oh boy. Here we.
I could break a few people here.
Yeah, there's a spread now. There's going to be
We're
a
way
spread
off.
here. Well, at least one of us is going to be fairly.
All right, not Lost
fairly
World.
significant.
We're doing this one. Dades, Jurassic Park. And the
Come on,
verdict
Daddy, give it to me.
is 100. 100.
What? Right on.
100?
Did you get it?
Let's go. Let's go. Look at this.
Very good job.
Look at that.
Very
Look
good
at
job.
hey, you see how that's a 0, guys? Look at that.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Mike, you were the one.
Yeah.
No, you were right. 101, 110 though. You gave me a little confidence there. So right at 100. Right at 100. Okay, that's a good one to go. Interesting. Okay. Next, should we do Lost World? Should we just stick with Jurassic Park? Let's
Sure,
try it. Why
why
not?
not?
Lost World.
Oh, what the hell?
Because this game, clearly this game matters. All right. Lost World, Jurassic Park.
Could you scroll down again? I think I
yeah.
have to go first. So I want to that's very helpful. I like that you did this.
So Xenon is 150. Star Wars Trilogy is 225.
And Thunderbirds is only 287.
287 is the lowest on the list.
It's not down. I thought that the top went all the way down to like 300.
I think they did. I agree with you, but because I think they did.
Oh, maybe that was before they merged some.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
37. Somebody wrote.
Jeez. All right. 240.
240.
Yeah.
So you think this is like close to? This is worse than the Star Wars trilogy game.
Bottom.
I'm going to say it that yes, I've never played it, so
okay.
But I feel I don't like it.
I need I need Greg Bone in here. I think this once again is a theme that people like. Lord. Xenon though. Xenon's going to be more respected. I think it's better than Star Wars trilogy. So where's that at? 220. Look at me and my numbers. Yep. Let's go with that. It worked for me last time going 100. So, Mike, how you feeling, man?
You guys are afraid to just spread it out, aren't you? You guys are just trying to keep it close, huh? All right. Yeah, it's got to be in the 200s. I got to think.
Zach's saying I feel like low rankings though. He thinks this might be a Well-liked
No.
game.
Look, if a Star Wars game can get 225, I'm sure a Jurassic Park, which is an inferior theme, can also be a terrible game too.
50 saying say
I'm
201, Mike. 201.
I'm gonna say 220.
220. And Craig's
Yeah.
going to come in here with 110. That's what he's about to say.
I think you guys are right. It's in the 200s somewhere. It's a question of where.
We have some people in
Just
chat
slip
that
up
are like
again, Joel,
high
a little bit.
hundreds. High hundreds is where some people are at. Is it so basically we do feel this is falling between Xenon and Star Wars trilogy. That's the guess,
Yeah.
right?
I didn't think so.
No? Oh yeah, you were you said
yeah,
240.
you went over.
Yeah.
230.
230.
Ooh.
We could. Oh, okay. We all played it. We're all near each other. We all played it somewhat safe. I bet it's in the one. We need it to be in the 200s. Oh, I should have just gone back. Yep. All right.
I need it to be 220.
Okay. All right. Where's this going? 263.
Wow.
263. Holy! I'm in trouble now.
Well,
That's 63 off. Way to go, Dennis. So that game is considered worse than wow. Okay.
Well, I mean, as Mike said, it's an inferior theme. So,
All right, Chad, I've seen this twice
Sure,
now,
am I
and
right?
I know there's some love for this game. There we go. Taxi.
Comrade Taxi.
Taxi. Oh boy. I'm first, aren't I? I will be honest. I am a fan of Taxi. I'm a fan of Taxi, and I remember at some point this game is higher than I was expecting it to be, because I remember seeing like, oh, this is actually, yeah. So I'm rather confident it's less than 75. But I don't remember where. I don't remember where it fell. I'm just gonna go 50. Mike, I know you're a fan of Taxi.
I am a fan, very big fan of Taxi. But I think you're overrating it. Well, not necessarily overrating it. Well, you had me at 70 or something like that. You had me around there, and then I thought to myself, okay, so I don't know how long it's been since you've checked any of the rankings, but there must have been a number of games that have been released, and they typically always get put in the top 100.
True.
That'll push it down
True.
a little bit. So I'm thinking like 80. I think I want to say 80.
All right. If you haven't played Taxi, go play a Taxi. Taxi's a great game. But all right, Craig.
I think it's going to be up towards the Data East one.
Beer DE. You think
Hold
that
on.
was 100?
You're right. And I think Mike's right. It is better than that, as I recall as well.
Marilyn or Lola? Marilyn, for sure.
I'm going to come in between you guys at 60.
All right, Dennis.
Yeah, 68.
Close again.
So we're in the 60. I forgot to look at these. So we were right on with Spider-Man with our average guess, because it was 31.
Wow,
yeah.
again.
And then 88, we were all low, except for me, you know. But Lost World, we were low. We were low. All right, Taxi. Oh, what a game. What a great game. I just want you to get one, Mike. Real bad.
It's a great game, I know.
Come on, 60.
89. Holy cow.
Oh,
way higher than I
okay.
remember it being. Way higher. Nice
I
job,
gained ground
Mike.
on all of you.
Mhm.
Okay, halfway here. Halfway through.
So we're going to be below on the average.
that
at
race,
64
Dennis-
was our average.
Dennis is holding
Dennis is
in.
right in it. So it was low. I just remember that being higher.
Well, like that's why I thought I was in the 70s, but then I was thinking, you know, like there's been a number of releases since the last time I recall looking it up, and the new releases always get in like the top 25, top 30 or 40, unless it's a huge, dumpster fire. But
Yeah.
it, you know,
Okay, so we've had a few games high up, and then we had the Oh, I got it. Yep. Bad Girls. Bad Girls.
This is a
I
tough one
can't- I
because
know.
there's so many people that like it
Yep.
and hate it. Like,
Yep.
yeah,
Bad
this
Girls.
is a
Sue's.
tough one.
It's Mike's turn. Mike's
And
turn.
I gotta start
Yep.
too. Oh,
Mike's
man.
turn. Love it or hate it. For people that don't know what Bad Girls is, it's very similar to 8 Ball Deluxe, which is beloved, but it's a ridiculous theme and it's kind of a mirrored play field. And they added a multi-ball, and Travis Muri scored 0 points on his first ball in disc. Yeah. So Bad Girls. All right. So once
Yeah.
again,
Yeah, and I gotta start.
Xenon
Okay,
Star
so
Wars trilogy. Where does this fall?
it's a very polarizing game. There are
Mhm.
people who swear by it as a better game than 8 Ball Deluxe, and there are people who hate it. So by that measure, I gotta figure it's gonna be like maybe just slightly below average.
Zach
This
is
is
saying, can we
hard.
call this game Rank is Right? Rank is not Price is Right. Rank it right. Rank it right or rank
it
is
right.
right.
Rank it right.
Rank it
Yeah.
right. Instead of After Hours game, you
Well,
don't like
okay,
that?
can I go down and see the numbers again? So it was 225 for Star Wars trilogy, and then 287 for
There we go. Rank it right. All right.
Bad Girls. Has got to be 250.
250.
250.
I'm just-
I'm not giving it as much credit as it probably deserves, but
This is this is rough. I have not played one. But obviously I watch the Indus stream. I know Buffalo Pinball love it. They play it every year. Yeah, polarizing game for sure. Craig? Pin the
I'm
pin.
maybe a
KO
little more
Spectator.
optimistic about it and go 180.
yeah, that's a good guess.
What do we like better? Rank it right or pin the pin?
Rank it right.
I feel like the word list should be in there.
190.
Ooh.
Mm,
So is Mike too hard on it? I think
yeah,
Mike.
probably. I might have been. I don't know.
Let's see.
There are a lot of Gottlieb haters out there.
Ooh boy. Do I go lower? Is it more liked? There we go. You could run away with this right now, Mike, if we're way off.
Mm. Or I could be completely
Or you
out of
could
contention.
be digging yourself a hole. Yep. Bad Girls. What a great game. This game is absurd.
Come on now. Let's see. Where are we at?
Oh no, it hasn't been approved.
Oh,
ranking.
ranked. We were all wrong.
So
I get a mulligan.
we get a mulligan on that one.
All right.
Chat, if next time, if you guys are cheating, please let us know that it's not approved. But what a game. What a game. I don't know. There's nothing we can see here. Yeah, on rankings to see average or anything. Yeah, but this is what you get. You get a 9.2 followed by a 4.9. I mean, it's like Balls of Steel, I'm gonna go with that just because he did the super chat. Why would I ignore that? Roller games. Did we do roller games before? We did not. Roller games. Shoot the wall. Is it shoot the wall or hit the wall?
Go for the wall.
Go for the wall. There we go. All right, who was first? I think it's Mike again. Sorry, man.
Hey, it's all good. Okay, so I think that this is definitely in the like mid to higher 150 to 200.
So
I'm gonna steal your 172.
what the? Come on, Mike.
Yeah, 172.
Okay.
You think it was better than Bad Girls, Mike?
Roller games?
Yeah.
I think the fact that it's a System 11 will just give it points on its own.
True,
'Cause
that's
they're
a good
just so
point.
beloved, right? Like, so I gave it, under 200 because it's a System 11.
50 in chat. People love this dumb game. It's fun, but it pisses you
Yeah.
off when you're way off. I don't. Just be glad we had Jurassic Park 30th to talk about for the first half of the hour, or the first half of the show. Yeah. Oh, you mean people love this dumb game as in roller games? I thought you meant you were talking about Rank It Right.
I don't think Rank It Right
Yeah.
is really
People
entered the
love
full
this dumb
pinball
game.
community's zeitgeist yet.
Yeah. Whoops. All right.
I'm going to take it a little bit
Both apply.
higher, I think, at 190.
Okay. That's our problem right now is there's a big gap between 100 and 263. We really don't have any landmarks in that realm. So we're kind of we're really
flailing here.
We're yes, we're flailing. Where are you at, Dennis?
Gosh. 150.
I'm thinking I'm down on the lower end because Data East Jurassic Park. If Data East Jurassic Park is at 100, I know there's a lot of love for this game. I in my mind, there's more love for this game than hate. Is it the theme is not nearly as much as Data East Jurassic Park. So I'm going 125.
Oh, geez.
Oh, geez is right. Oh, geez
we have
is
quite a
right.
spread there.
This is, let's see where we're at here.
Let's see if I overstated with the System 11 love, because that's what
Well,
I was.
at 89, Taxi. There's so many better games.
175. Dang you, Mike, taking my 172.
Oh!
He took my 172. I was off by 50 on that one. Dear Lord. All right, I started strong.
You did.
And then woof. Okay,
It's
jeez.
close, though.
Hang in.
What do we got here? I'm gonna go Rick and Morty. Rick and Morty, that's modern. Let's try another modern one.
Oh, we need to go back to what you're strong at.
No,
Okay.
I want to get yes, that's what I'm saying. Yep, sure, we'll go with that. What is that? Okay.
What are you doing?
I just did. It's weird if you start to type and then scroll.
Yeah, it'll auto-populate with.
Okay. I'm used to Excel, so I don't know.
You and I both. Rick and Morty. We're gonna try Rick and Morty. We might add to this. I think 10. We might go a little more than that. We'll see.
We'll see
is
how
fun.
your rank is, and you'll decide we need more.
No, I just feel like we're blowing
It's
through
double or nothing until I win my money back.
this. Craig, you're up. This is another polarizing game, by the way. Definitely polarizing.
Yeah.
If somebody really has a game they really
Great
want us to do,
team,
that super
but-
chat's right there.
Yeah.
It worked for Balls of Steel. Yep. I'm not going to do victory because I bet Dennis has already looked it up.
No, it's not ranked. I don't believe.
Oh, okay. All right, Rick and Morty. Craig, you're up, man.
I'm going to say 45.
All right, so okay. X-Men 75. All right. Dennis.
I'm looking at what I've done so far, and I think I have almost always underestimated. Like, I've always said the games are higher than they really are, is my tendency. I think the only one I didn't do that on was Turtles and Jurassic Park. So Rick and Morty, which I've played all of like twice. 60.
Is it a top 50 game? There are some people that love this game. Just love it. But then it's got some backlash on it. It's a modern game. Modern games really score well. So
That's why Thunderbirds is so high on the list.
yeah. 52. Why not? 31. If
Wow.
that's no, somebody wrote 31. I mean it might be getting love. What do you think, Mike?
So I was thinking like right around 50. But do I want to try and make it interesting? No, it's got to be around 50. My original guess was going to be 50 right on the nose.
You going
More
50?
More of a safe guess, yeah.
All right. So we're all in the same ballpark, roughly. All right. How off are we? I bet it's lower. I bet it's like 30.
Oh, come on. No way.
Rick. 28.
Is that-
28.
Oh,
Wow.
Crap.
Oh my god.
Oh man, we're way
Oh.
off. 28.
I blew
told
a
you.
really modern game last time too. Lebowski.
Whoa, we got super chats. Apparently
we
that
got
worked.
a tie here.
Okay, we'll do them both. We'll do. Did we do either of them? No. Okay, so Twilight Zone. Dang, I was right around 30. Twilight Zone first, and then we're gonna do Baywatch. Ooh, that's all right. Twilight Zone. Twilight Zone. Who's first?
Is it my turn now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, Twilight Zone. 12.
Yeah, it's gonna be high. It'll be in a top position. I am curious. I used to check the top 10 all the time because it's like all Elwyn. And I think you're. I'm trying to think of games that are in the top 10 that aren't LCD. I know, like I think Medieval Madness is still in the top 10. I think Lord of the Rings is in the top 10. I don't know if this is. It's right in that realm. I'm just gonna go 11 just to piss Dennis off.
13. That's where I was going
Yeah.
with it. Was 13. Unlucky number 13 in the Twilight Zone. That's where I was.
13. All right.
Definitely in the top 20. I'm gonna say 15.
15. All right. So we're all right there.
Yeah, it can't be any lower than 15.
Yeah, it was in the top 10 for so long, but I agree with Joel. I think it fell out quite a while ago.
Yeah. Get in the zone.
AutoZone.
Okay. 12. 12.
Hang on. Yeah, 12.
No,
All right,
you're on
still in
it.
it. I
You're
was
all
safe.
over it. You're all over it, Dennis.
I didn't get too far off.
Baywatch. This is going to be a tough one
Why? Why is it tough?
because it's in that realm,
Because
that
you're
uncomfortable
first,
realm.
That's why it's tough.
Oh, I am. Oh,
It does
no.
have a shark flipper on it, so.
I know, but this
Dolphins.
is
a lot of dolphins.
is Baywatch less than 100? I think it's after X-Men, and I think it's before Xenon. But I already guessed 100. So Day to East Jurassic Park. 115. 115. That's what I'm going with. Mike.
Good guess. That's a good guess. That's a good guess.
139, 152, 125.
not as good as Jurassic Park, but I think it's close. I really do. I think it's close. I'm gonna go. 110.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah, I think you're
Craig was
close.
not thinking this. What would be crazy is if we did this game and you had to like write down your number and then we all put them in at the
that
same
might
time.
be a better way to do it because we're sort of feeding off of other people's opinions too, maybe. But
Yeah, because
I think though that's counteracted by the fact that Joel does rotate who goes first each time, so
True,
we all
yeah.
get different. We all get to take advantage.
yeah, and Craig just responded with really, like he was
Yeah,
surprised.
well, no, actually, and
110.
I'll help Craig out here because I also thought this was way closer to 200 than 100. But
Mhm.
Well, hey, if you two want to go off on your own and guess around the 200s, go for it. Yeah. Nah, this is strategy. It makes it a little like poker. There's
It's not
influence. Yeah,
that great a shooter, though, is it? I mean, is it? Like the theme isn't great. I can't.
big
do
ass
that.
DMD Segas.
I've been wanting a Baywatch for ages.
I remember
Is
when
it
I got
because-
into this hobby, you could get one of those for 900.
Is it because
I'll
of the
take-
side cabinet art, Mike? Is that why you
Yes,
want to
yeah,
Baywatch?
yeah.
Just
Gonna put it right in the
Alright.
center of the room. Right.
I'm going out. I'm going out. This is gonna make me or break me. I'm gonna say it's worse than roller games at 180
That's actually
for the win.
Is roller games more like than Baywatch? That's actually I hadn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh.
I'm going to do, I do think it's closer to 200 than 100, but I wasn't going to say that close. So I'll do 165.
All right.
All right, let's
Zach,
just see.
Zach, did you guess? I want to see how confident Zach likes these games. I feel like he's very confident in his answers.
It better be higher than 150. That's all I have to say.
Roll Poker Tours next. Zach, I want Zach to 190 is what Zach's saying. So let's see how
Oh,
much he
yeah.
sucks.
Oh yeah.
You guys underestimate the power
No.
of the swimsuit.
The power of the swimsuit. Okay. All right.
The Hoff, the
All
power of the
right.
Hoff.
121. 121. Let's go. Let's go.
Hey, I'll take it.
I was off by 6. Okay, here we are. We're going to the final round. I'm still screwed at 191.
Not by much, though.
Dang, Mike.
Mike is cleaning up
Dang,
now.
Mike. All right. So,
All right,
World
this is the
Poker
Hail
Tour.
Mary
Did we
pass
do that
time.
last time? We didn't. Okay. So, first off, are we good? Yeah, we're good on time. I was going to say we can stop at 10. World Poker Tour. World Poker Tour. And who's up first? Was it me? No. It was every
People
4.
like this game.
You did go first.
I think.
Okay, I think it's
went
Mike.
115 on-
People like this
yeah,
game.
yeah. I hate going first and especially on a title like this, which is another polarizing game because I used to own one and I love it because of how difficult it is. It's super hard.
All right, we're gonna do this. I want to. Never mind. I was gonna say I wanted to add one more round and make us write down the number. Do you guys want to add one round and do that?
Sure. I mean,
Bonus
I'm
round.
I'm good for whatever. Okay.
I don't know if this tracks.
Yeah, make sure don't break your math.
150.
It doesn't track. Okay, we'll figure it out. You're saying 150?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll write it down. If we get a pen
Yep.
or something, we can
Craig.
write it down on a piece of paper for.
Copy row insert. That was that's different.
I mean, Mike's been so close to so many of them. He's probably right. But in the spirit of trying to win, I'm gonna go. It's not gonna be that much higher though.
World Poker Tour. If Baywatch is 121.
$180.
180. That was your guess last time, Craig. Okay.
Baywatch.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make that number win.
Yeah.
90.
Ooh.
Okay.
Okay, he's influencing me, guys.
Jeez,
Dennis
under
has
the top
influenced me
line.
on this one. If he's going 90 on that one. I mean, I think it's the theme that people don't like. Otherwise, people like this game.
And the art. They don't like the art.
Well, yeah.
Long
90
hand.
though?
Yeah. I mean, my theory is that game became a darling. You used to be able to pick those things up for like under 2,000, and then everyone realized that it's got a really good rule set.
Yeah.
It's a good
Now, whether
enough-
they rated
It's
it,
the theme. It's really the theme and the art that people didn't like. The game it's a great game. Like if you're into poker. too, it's
210?
a-
210? 210?
Oh,
no. Oh,
I just
no.
Oh, did we just?
Oh,
I think-
Dennis.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
Dennis.
What have I done?
Yeah.
Okay, well, here we go.
No, we have to have another round.
We have
here.
our
Look at-
last
we just-
round. I need a game. I need a game.
I think my victory would require you all to
Yeah.
like guess 500 though.
I'm hoping on I was waiting on a super chat, but I don't think it's happening.
Someone super chat us a game. Joel needs the money to buy a milkshake.
I need
The
to
next
buy a
super chat.
milkshake.
I'll drink your milkshake.
Are we gonna write this one down instead this time? We're
yeah.
gonna write it down. I have a pen.
Well,
and a,
well,
and
we
a-
can go with Chris Ryan because he's a member of the channel. So Hurricane. I don't think we did that one. Hurricane.
Oh boy.
This is a tough one too.
Okay, so Hurricane. Oh, never mind. Balls of Steel. Sterling's coming in here with RoboCop.
Yeah, we'll do both of them.
We'll do both. All right. We're gonna do 2, and we're gonna write down our number before. So
Okay.
copy.
You want us to do them both at the same time?
No, we'll do one at a time.
Okay.
All
I
right,
like
so
that
Hurricane is first, and then we're gonna do RoboCop. These are gonna be tough.
Wow, that
So-
World Poker Tour really threw me off.
It does. Did we do RoboCop before? No, we have not. Okay. Okay. All right. So Hurricane is first. I gotta write this down.
Can
I'm in
someone tell
trouble
me,
here.
is that the DMD one or the alphanumeric one?
Hurricane is the alphanumeric. It's the DMD.
DMD. So this is the
Yeah,
what was it? It's
the third one.
what was
Comet,
the first one?
Cyclone, Comet, Cyclone, and then Hurricane.
So this is the last one. Lord. All right, everybody put their piece of paper, not the number, but you can flip them around all at the same time. Just this is my piece
Hold
of
on,
paper.
we're doing Hurricane.
We're doing
right?
Hurricane first. Yep.
I need one more moment. I was.
All right.
Fingers up a little
Hurricane.
closer there, Joel.
So
Can't really
I
see
don't
it.
have it turned around. I don't
Oh,
have it
okay.
turned around yet.
Oh, my pen isn't working on this. Hold on. I'm ruining it for everybody. I'm writing it on this now.
Which of these games would you want to see re-released out of all these? I will say Taxi. If they ever do a 2.0 kit on Taxi, I'd be curious. I'd be curious.
All right,
Yeah,
here we
we
go.
need a poop monster to get in the car.
Spider-Man. If they re-release Spider-Man, but they made it with the new art style, that could be pretty cool. But actually,
All
at the
right.
same time, I kind of want a whole new game. All right, so we're gonna all turn around at the same time. Craig, you got yours?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. So this is Hurricane. Mine says 200, 180, 160. Oh, Mike, look at you on the cardboard. Look at us go. 200. Mike is two. Don't do the scroll. 200. Craig, what were you at? 165.
165.
Whew,
Yeah.
whew. Hurricane 180. Okay. All right. I thought you were gonna go 180 again, Craig. Just keep,
Yeah, I took it from him.
yeah, just keep that going. Okay, Hurricane. Okay, we need
Let me
a
see a 2 at the
Come
front.
we need
Let me
around
see.
200. We need around 252.
Wow. Okay. I mean, that's still good for us in the sense that
Not good for
we're
Dennis.
closest.
No,
We're okay. We're
I mean-
okay. Okay, so where are we at? Dennis and I are close, but unless Mike really messes up RoboCop, actually, him and Craig are pretty close. Okay, this is it. Final round.
No, I don't think it's adding up anymore.
Is it?
Check your. Yeah, I think it's.
I2.
Maybe it's
Oh, the
not bad.
I12.
You
Oh,
gotta
you're
go
right.
14 now. Yeah, go
You're
to
right. You're right.
14.
Thank you. Look at you and your math. Can you just give this to me, Mike, please? This is all I have. And boom. Okay. Yep.
I liked the old math better.
I know. Okay, so where are we at? So Dennis got it. Okay, but Mike is looking good. Don't mess this last one up. Okay, RoboCop.
So,
Again, write 'em down.
so is this the last one?
This is the last one. We're writing it down.
Okay. We're writing it down.
We're writing it
Okay.
down. You guys
I'm
go to
going to write
I think
it
this is the best way. Okay. The last one here. RoboCop. Danny East. I think it's
This is my 200, but
you can okay,
it's
you're
on the
flipping.
other
I see
side
what
of
you
it.
mean.
It's on the
Yeah,
other side of it. Yeah.
yeah. It's worse than that. Okay, we all good?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I'm going to flip it around. Here we go. I said 230. Oh, he went 180. he went. Dennis said the same thing. 180.
Oh, hold on.
I
hold on.
agree with
Back it up.
50 in chat at 125.
125
I've owned one. I know how good of a game it is.
and
It's a sleeper.
195. So it's that. So you're saying low, Mike. You think this
Well,
is like
the only reason why it may not be low is because they didn't make a lot of them, so there may not be a lot of reviews. But I do think it's a total sleeper. For
my
sure, yeah.
my thought if World Poker Tour is 210, I think World Poker Tour is like more than RoboCop. But what do I know? So let's
There's
see what we
enough
got
of a
here.
spread here.
This
That
is a
are
lot of
allowed,
spread.
yeah.
This could be big. RoboCop.
Make
This
it
is
interesting.
it.
You got to make it interesting.
This
You
is
gotta-
it. Final round.
I may have just ruined myself. here.
216. 216. I think Mike might have screwed himself. He did. Craig Bobby for the win.
wow.
Craig Bobby
Oh,
for the
and I
win.
did, just like I did after the first round, finished dead last.
Holy Mike, you were dominating that game until
RoboCop. That was my worst one by
It was,
far. Look at
91.
that. Oh.
91.
Your love,
put
your
too
love
much
of
faith in that
the
game.
cyborg cop skewed you.
I'm going to review that game right now to increase the ranking, is what 50 said. So, well, there we go. There's rank it right. Is that what we're going to go with?
You're not first, you're last,
Yeah.
baby.
So just to reiterate, just to bring this up, we played this before, and this is how it turned out. I sucked. No, you wanted you wanted the lowest number. I lost. And then it was Dennis won, actually, and then it was Mike, and then Craig, and then me. So here are the reviews before some of these other games, if these surprise you. Like Lebowski at the time was 13. I remember that being surprising. And then another one that Riverboat Gambler, I lost that one bad. 81, I started in a hole. So Troy, thank you for the super chat with the game over. So here are some other Dolly Parton. This is when the list was bigger because of the way they split up games. That's why we're in the 300s. But well, cool. Well, there you go. There was rank it right. I like that. We're gonna go with that. So I think that's it.
Good job, Craig.
Yeah, I hope people enjoyed that. I do know I'm looking at our viewers now. We did lose viewers.
Why did we have to do extra rounds? Why extra rounds?
What?
We didn't need them.
But hey, that's fine. I think it's a fun game.
You found your guaranteed super chat recipe.
Yeah.
You just let people buy their way into choosing the game.
That's the best way.
My favorite part, though, besides losing, was when we spent like 20 minutes on Bad Girls and it wasn't even ranked.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. But you know, we got us all thinking about Bad Girls. So, hey, we'll go around real quick. We'll plug it up. So, Craig, go for it, man.
Yes, thanks guys for watching. Thanks Joel for having me on. It's great as always to be here. Of course, I do the Pinball Show's Top Stories every other week with host Zach Meny and Dennis Kriesel on the Pinball Show. So hope to see everyone tuning in every other week. Awesome.
Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate that shirt too. That's a good looking shirt. That Triple Drain merch, bud. Dennis, go for it, man.
Hey, yeah, I'm Dennis. Thanks again for having me on. And you can always, just like Craig said, listen to me every other week on the Pinball Show, which is over on the Pinball Network. Check your RSS feed.
Awesome. Perfect. Yeah. What's cool about YouTube is it shows like a histogram, like a graph. And yeah, like right when we started playing the game, it just boo, like it went down. So
people are just here for the news. They're just here to debate with me over what my definition of luxury is.
Luxury item. Yeah. Awesome. And Mike, go for it.
Well, you can check me out on Pinballers when we stream. We have no real schedule now, mostly focusing on like tournament stuff and whatnot. But we'll be streaming, casual stuff as well too. Soon enough.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for being here. And yeah, my name's Joel. I do the Triple Drain Pinball podcast. We released an episode yesterday. You can find that on the Pinball Network. And then obviously I stream here every Wednesday night from 10 to midnight Eastern Daylight Time. So yeah, come participate in chat. We obviously have a ton of time with chat. We enjoy doing this. Thank you so much for everybody that comes here consistently. And if you're watching this on YouTube, please thumbs up, leave a comment. I try to comment or heart or read every comment that's on there. Subscribe to the channel, or you can join the channel if you want to support us there. Like I know Chris Ryan does, and what is it? Juicy Time. Juicy Time is one of the other guys. Next week it'll be a gameplay week. I'll either probably be playing Spider-Man again, or might play TNA. Because that's a good time. But this was a lot of fun. Hey, everybody have a great night. Go play some pinball. And yeah, we'll see you guys again soon.